Hello and welcome to Landau Forte QEMS. I'm Mr. Nally and I'm the Head of Engineering here at the school. I'm here today to just introduce you briefly to what we offer at Level 2 for Engineering. That's the GCSE equivalent course. So, why would you bother choosing engineering? Well, engineering is a very, very broad subject which has a range of different areas. So, depending on what you feel you like, you can specialise in mechanics or electrical or electronics or aeronautical. You could be an army engineer or an air force engineer. You could be an engineer that designs ships. There's a wide range of different things you can do. Also, if you're somebody who enjoys practical, then this is the subject for you. Because outside of, say, I don't know, PE or something like that, and parts of science, you're not going to be doing as much physical hands-on stuff as you would be doing in engineering. You've also got to remember that engineering is a very highly sought after profession. What that means is that we have a shortage of engineers in the world, and as such we are really screaming out to get engineers. So as an engineer, you would be very competitive with your salary, i.e. you'd be able to pretty much name your price in some places. So good money, easy, lots of jobs for a good job. And the final thing is that with engineering, unlike a lot of other professions, there's a lot of opportunity to travel. A lot of engineering is done these days in places like China, Japan, stuff like that, Eastern European countries, America. There's all sorts of places which you can either travel to as just a one-off part of the job, or to actually move to, make a new life in a different country. And that's something you can't always be offered in other professions. So, what would you expect from us, from the engineering department, if you joined us? So, if you decide to join us in Year 10, you will obviously get a lot of different practical as well as theoretical learning, okay? And you will be doing a lot of different areas of engineering, and that's something we specialise in our school. It's unlike other schools who will take the easiest approach to engineering. We actually offer you a wide range of different areas you will learn. So things like CAD, which is drawing on computers, designing stuff on computers in 3D and 2D. CAM, which is turning those drawings into a product automatically with the press of a button, and a machine will make it for you. Obviously business and engineering, which is talking about how engineering companies work, their structures. Materials, which is a vital part of engineering, which is, you know, all the different properties of plastics and metals and even wood, and some very complicated materials like smart materials. You'll do a lot of practical elements, learning to use your hands to make stuff, as well as using specialist machines to make stuff. You'll learn designing, electronics and mechanics. So a broad range of different areas we focus on at the school. So the ideal student for us would be somebody who isn't just keen and, you know, studious and wants to learn. They're all obvious things, but for us, it's somebody who enjoys the theoretical side, but actually also enjoys the practical side as well. You know, you don't mind getting your hands dirty. You'll get in there and sort of be happy to make stuff, as well as learning a bit about, like, you know, the background of the material and stuff like that. So somebody who's got a broad range of skills would be the ideal person. But if you're not that person, if you're somebody who is you know, maybe a bit more theoretical, so you kind of like the science side of it, where you're sitting and you're learning about something but you're not actually making something, or maybe you're on the other side where you're somebody who is very practical, hands-on, and you want to make something. Well, we cater for both of you, because while that might be your speciality or what you enjoy, and you may not like the other side as much, we're always really good at pushing people maybe a little bit out of the comfort zone to make sure that they are achieving their full potential by being able to do both. And that's something we really value in the department. Another thing that we value from a student is their logic. You got to remember, engineering, by its nature, is just solving a problem by making something. That's what the word engineering actually means. So, with that in mind, if you were a fantastic artist who come up with some creative, beautiful drawings, that's great, not necessarily going to help you in engineering. What we're looking for is logic. That's problem solving, being able to think carefully and constructively about something to solve a problem. So I always put it this way: I'm not an amazing artist. I can't draw things in a creative manner. I couldn't come up with something off the top of my head. What I can do though is I can create a drawing that perfectly replicates something, like a phone or a part or something. And there's a big difference between those two things. And that's what logic is, and that's why logic is really important for our subject. So our course is a level 2 course. Now the level 2 is a BTEC course, which is the equivalent to one GCSE. And everybody in the country, companies, colleges, sixth forms, all recognise that it is the equivalent to one GCSE. And our course is split into 3 different components. 2 of those components, component 1 and 2, are coursework based, and component 3 is an assignment, an exam. Component 1 is a combination of 2 different areas, which is the business side of engineering, so looking at businesses, companies, how they function. And then the second part for component 1 is design, and it's back to that designing to solve a problem. Component 2 is more on the sciencey side. It's more like that's where we make stuff, and where we explore different materials and their properties. Component 3 is the exam, which is in 2 parts. And the first part is a scientific experiment based on materials to test the knowledge from the previous components. And part 2 is a design exam, which is basically you're given a problem, an engineering problem, and you have to solve that using design. So you draw the solution to that problem and label it. So 3 components, 66% of it is exams, that's the 2 exams, and there are 5 different assignments with 34% of the course. The course is very good at ensuring that students are able to achieve a really good grade, because what we can do is we can ensure that when you're doing your assignment, when you're doing your practical side of it, we're able to give you the support you need on a demand basis, which is sometimes difficult in other subjects. And the reason we can do that is because we are a practical subject. So, engineering, possible career opportunities. As I said before, engineering is an incredibly sought after profession, incredibly sought after. There are a massive range of different career opportunities for you, and that could be whether you just go on to the sixth form or a college to do engineering, or whether you actually try to go into engineering straight away as an apprentice or something like that. But there are loads of different areas which you can work in, which I've already said, so I'm not going to repeat. And the other thing is with engineering, it's not just a subject where, oh, you should just be an engineer if you do engineering. It can also be used for different areas, different careers you might want to pursue. So if you're somebody who's thinking about, I don't know, going into business, or maybe you quite like science or something like that, engineering is a fantastic subject to do as well as other courses to help you get into those sort of careers. Because, for example, in architecture is about designing buildings. Well, if you have art and engineering, that helps you massively, because the art side of it means you can come up with beautiful creative designs for the buildings, whereas the engineering side, you'll be able to then tell how whether the building will stand up from your creative and crazy design. So the marrying of different subjects is really helpful, and that's why engineering is something that can really be used, even if you're not thinking of pursuing a career in engineering. So I hope you have enjoyed my little presentation. I hope to see you in September, and yeah, it's going to be fun.